Hello, and welcome to the Harvest Plus podcast, where we explore the latest innovations in agriculture and nutrition that are shaping the future. I'm your host, Faith Okiror, and today we have a very special guest from Pakistan's Wheat Research Institute in Faisalabad. We are talking about a game-changing wheat variety, the Akbar 2019, a zinc biofortified wheat that's making a significant impact on Pakistan's agriculture and nutrition. Joining us today is Dr. Javed Ahmad, the director of the Wheat Research Institute. Dr. Javed, you are very, very welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So we're going to jump straight into the conversation. Zinc deficiency is a major nutritional challenge in many parts of the world, including Pakistan. Could you start by explaining to the audience what the main nutritional goals were behind the development of zinc biofortified wheat and how the Akbar 2019 meets those goals?
Yeah, thank you, Faith. Actually, Pakistan is a resource poor country. And no doubt we have sufficient food to eat, but that do not fulfill our nutritional needs. And in other words, you can see we are facing hidden hunger. About 40% of our population is zinc deficient, and we do not have resources to uh, eat different minerals and vitamins. We are dependent upon our daily staple food. And wheat is the main staple food in Pakistan. Uh, our population meets us around above 70% of our caloric needs from wheat. We normally use wheat as a flatbread. And uh, so our idea being scientist was to uh, just give our population a nutritious food. So we decided to become a part of the global programs working on biofortification of crops. So we choose the wheat crop and started working on its nutrition enhancement in addition to other core traits like high yield, in this disease resistance, and climate adaptability. So resultantly, after the efforts of around a decade, we have developed this Akbar 2019, which has around 38 ppm of zinc. Uh, and previously, our average value of zinc in wheat was around 25 ppm.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Now, I understand that the development of Akbar 2019 was a decade-long journey. Can you walk us through some of the key milestones and the partnerships that have made this variety a reality?
Yeah, normally I am from provincial government. The main major province, agriculture province of Pakistan is Punjab. So our government and then our Punjab Agriculture Research Board, they have funded the project to initiate this work, and then CIMET and Harvest Plus. Uh, they have given us a big support. We have uh, on our request, CIMET started sending us the Harvest Plus nursery, which was developed in collaboration with Harvest Plus. So we have also started using that nursery, and then other international nurseries from CIMET, and uh, previously, we were working only for yield and disease resistance mainly, and the other qualities of flour for making this chapati, the flatbread, which we commonly use. But now, under this program, we have started screening for uh, high zinc and iron also, and we have identified a good line which was having around 38 to 39 ppm of zinc, and then CIMET and Harvest Plus supported us for its multi-location testing, and then after approval, especially in its early generation seed production, and then uh, multiplication of uh, early generation seed to provide to private sector and the seed corporations for its multiplication and provision to farmers. They have all the stakeholders of a government, CIMET and Harvest Plus. Mm, This success is cumulative efforts of all these three stakeholders.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Okay, and so now the Akbar 2019 is being cultivated on 42% of Pakistan's wheat cropping area, which is a huge milestone. What does this mean for the country's agricultural landscape and more broadly for food security in Pakistan?
Yeah, actually, this variety is a real game changer. It also, no doubt, it's high zinc, but in addition to it, it's having a maximum yield potential among all the common varieties being cultivated in Pakistan, and it's highly adapted to climate stresses and tolerant to diseases. So it was adapted very quickly, and resultantly it is being cultivated on above 40% of the wheat area in Pakistan. Yeah, so it has proved a game changer in Pakistan. And previously we were a net wheat importing countries, but last year we have produced sufficient wheat. There was above 31 million tons, while our requirement is around 30 million tons. So it made Pakistan self-sufficient in wheat.
Perfect. Now let's talk about the health factor of it. Millions of people, especially in rural areas, rely on wheat as a staple crop. How does Akbar 2019 directly benefit the health and nutrition of these communities?
Yeah, as I have already mentioned that most of our population is zinc deficient, especially the women and kids. We have a big ratio of like 37% of our people are food insecure if we take it in terms of nutritional quality, and 40% of the children has a stunted growth, and there are different other diseases like diarrheal diseases, loss of appetite, which are indicator of zinc deficiency. And uh, we are not in a position to provide a nutritional food supplement. Because there are different ways to overcome the malnutrition. That's food diversification, and then value in this fortification of products. But all these are taking the supplements. But these all things need a cost, which is really difficult, especially for our rural population. It's a difficult. Main staple food is wheat. I hope that with this introduction of wheat, this Akbar 19 with uh, around 40 ppm of zinc, we can overcome the zinc deficiency ultimately in Pakistan, because it's increasing every year. And we also have uh, two more varieties in pipeline. I hope that will also be released in a year or two. Then we shall be in a safe position.
Okay, great. And farmers are a critical part of this success story. What has been the response from the farmers and the wheat value chain actors regarding the Akbar 2019 variety?
Uh, there were different positive factors, first one, for farmers, the most important is tonnage, because he gets price for its tonnage, the quantity which he sells in the market. So luckily, this variety was also maximum yielder. So people had adapted it for its yield, and also the promotional campaigns from our institutions, and especially from Harvest Plus, that encourage farmers and uh, also became provided the awareness to farmers that the cultivation of Akbar will also be beneficial for their families and their fellow farmers. So they have adapted it for both the reasons, the high yield and also the nutritional quality, because in Pakistan, more than 50% of the population is rural based, and all the rural population they eat the chapati from the flour which they make from their own wheat. So they prefer to cultivate this Akbar 19. And in addition to it, uh, the mostly we do have the big advanced flour mills, but mostly wheat is milled by small milling units called chakkis, mm, that are common in our rural and both in rural and urban populations. So Harvest Plus have started a program for branding of this biofortified flour involving these small checky holders.
Okay, so you have spoken a bit about what I would like to ask you next, because I know that an achievement such as the Akbar 2019 cannot be without strong partnerships. So could you please elaborate on the role that both the public and private sector partners have played in scaling up the adoption of this variety?
Yeah. In public sector, our duty is after the development of a variety, we also we are responsible for production of its early generation seed. The pre-basic seed we produce it in our public sector farms and provide the seed to private sector seed companies for its multiplication. Where our government and Harvest Plus, CIMIT helped us uh, for its um, large scale multiplication and provision to farmers. And so there was the main game changer, because if we didn't have the collaboration of all these stakeholders, we might not be having a big potential for its quick multiplication. You know, it was evolved in 2019, and in 2023, it was cultivated on above 40% of the area.
Thank you very much. And so one of the fascinating things about Akbar 2019 success is the outreach that has been involved, where you've had demo plots, you've had farmer field days, you've had awareness seminars, and even journalist training. Could you share some examples of how these efforts have helped to drive adoption and awareness?
Uh, yeah, this is really very important, because previously there was no example of work on biofortification of crops, and most of the farmers and other stakeholders, they were not familiar with such type of research and the products. Um, so all these became practical due to this demo plots and advertisement in different ways, and all the this training programs, seminars, demos uh, that educated the farmers, and they were converted towards this new variety. And seeing is believing. So mostly the demo plots and actual farmer gatherings on that specific sites were really effective. People were seeing the productivity of that crop, the look of that crop, because it was really high yielding and disease free. So mm, that farm during their farmer days and field visits, farmers saw the crop, and then uh, when we educated them that in addition to this high yield, it is having a high zinc. So they were really convinced, and started growing it on a large scale.
That's very interesting. And so in terms of lessons for future biofortified varieties, the Akbar 2019 is clearly a success story, and we agree it is a success story, but it's also part of a bigger movement towards biofortified crops. What lessons from the development and scaling of Akbar 2019 can be applied to future biofortified varieties?
Yeah, previously our institute, we were the main stakeholders for providing the high yielding and good quality weeds to the farmer of Pakistan. Uh, but our work, the dissemination of our work was not to such a big extent. So when all the stakeholders, the national and international agencies, they worked together to make it a success. So we have learned that for making a big success in future, all the stakeholders should be taken on board. Uh, our public sector, private sector, the international collaborators, our farmers, the media persons. When everyone move in one direction, we ultimately reach to the final goal in a minimum possible time.
Wonderful, wonderful. So in terms of the future outlook of wheat production and hidden hunger, as biofortified varieties like Akbar 2019 continue to evolve, how do you see the future of wheat production in Pakistan, especially in terms of addressing hidden hunger and promoting agricultural sustainability?
Yeah, as I have mentioned that by cultivating Akbar on a large scale, we have reached to some sustainability that we are now sufficient in wheat, but this is not the end. Now we want to uh, get more yield from our same fields so that we may be able to vacate some land for other crops where we are deficient, mm, and increasing more yield per unit area.
Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Javed, and sharing your very valuable insights. It's been very fascinating to hear about AFBA 2019 and how it's making a real difference in both agriculture and nutrition across Pakistan. And to our listeners, if you'd like to learn more about biofortified crops or follow our ongoing conversations on agriculture and nutrition, be sure to check out our links in the notes and don't forget to subscribe to the Harvest Plus podcast. Thank you very much.